online biology tutorials. In this life of today, we will be studying human heart, its various chambers, what type of circulation takes place in us, and what are the benefits of having such circulation. I hope my screen is clear to everybody. So, this is an important topic from your first chapter of biology life processes, and it comes under circulatory system. So, let's begin our class. So, human art will come under the circulatory system. So, as the word system is written, that means we have to study an organ system, right? We know that organ system is made by the combination of organs. Organs are made up of tissue, and tissue is made by the combination of cells. Now, in case of circulatory system, you must know that the organ is going to be heart and the blood vessels, right? This is important from class 10th perspective that you should know this much, right? So, as we move forward after this, there are four chambers in the human heart. So, to know what are these four chambers, I will be drawing generalized diagram for your understanding. And once we will be done with these diagrams, then I will make you understand the diagram that is given in NCERT. So if you look at this heart, always remember that this is going to be the left side. The one towards right side is your left one, and the one towards your left is your right side. Because if you pick up this image and locate in your body, then this is going to be your left side. You can see that I have made how many chambers? Four chambers. One, two, three, and four. So you can clearly see that we have four chambers or four rooms in our heart, and they all are separated by wall. So if you see, room number 2 and room number 4 are separated by a wall. So this wall is known as septum. Similarly, between 1 and 3 we have septum. Here also we have a wall which is known as septum, and here also between 1 and 2 we have a septum. So this image is letting you know that we have a four chambered heart and each chamber is separated by a septum. Now let's learn the names of the chamber in this diagram. So again, I have made a four-chambered heart. Now in this four-chambered heart, always remember this is the left side, this is the right side, right? One side is the left one and another side is the right one. Always remember that this side is going to be your auricle, or it can also be named as atrium. This side is also known as auricle. Each auricle leads into ventricle. Okay, so we have seen that on the above side we have auricle and they are leading into ventricle. As this side is the left side, so this is going to be the left auricle. This is going to be the left ventricle. This side is the right side, so this is going to be the right auricle. And this is going to be the right ventricle. So whatever we have done till now, we can recollect that human heart is four chambered and all the chambers are separated by a wall or septa. There are two sides in the heart. One is the left side and another is the right side, right? And we have left auricle leading into left ventricle and right auricle leading into right ventricle. So after this diagram, we will see another diagram in which we will learn which chamber of the heart has oxygenated blood and which chamber of the heart has deoxygenated blood. So if you look in for this diagram, this is going to be your left auricle. This is going to be your left ventricle. This is going to be your right auricle. And this is going to be your right ventricle, right? Always remember the left side of the the left side of the heart is always containing oxygenated blood. So always oxygenated blood is there on the left side. That means this chamber, left auricle, will also have the oxygenated blood, and left ventricle will also have the oxygenated blood. And deoxygenated blood would be there in the right side of the heart. So right auricle will also have this deoxygenated blood, and right ventricle will also have the deoxygenated blood. Remember, students, whenever we are talking about oxygenated blood, we mean that here the partial pressure of oxygen is greater than the partial pressure of CO2. Means, simple words, we have oxygen more in the blood if the blood is oxygenated. And in case we are talking about deoxygenated blood, then in that the partial pressure or the carbon dioxide content is greater than the oxygen. So whatever we have done till now, we can revise that human heart is four chambered. There are two sides in the heart, left and right. Left contains oxygenated blood and right contains deoxygenated blood. Left chamber has left auricle leading into left ventricle, and right chamber has right auricle leading into right ventricle. Oxygenated blood is the one in which the partial pressure of oxygen is greater than CO2, and deoxygenated blood is the one where the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is greater than the partial pressure of oxygen. Right? So after this, let's talk about the blood vessels and then things will be clearer to us. So blood vessels are the vessel or tube-like structures into which the blood flows. So remember, we have to learn arteries, we have to remember veins, and we have to remember capillaries. Okay, so for class 10th, only this much is enough that if you remember these three capillaries, things will be done. You will be able to understand the circulatory system. So see, here I have made artery. Okay, in certain reference books, you may find this diagram that arteries, they branch into arterioles. Okay, so arteries may branch further to form the arterioles, and this broader structure is the artery. Now these arterioles, they form capillaries further. Okay, so they form capillaries further. Then these capillaries are being shown by two colors, one red and one blue, just to demarcate that oxygenated blood is depicted by red and deoxygenated blood is depicted by blue. However, in our body, there is no difference in the color of oxygenated and deoxygenated, only there is difference in the viscosity or thickness. So these capillaries, they join together and they form venules. The branches of veins are known as venules, and then they join to form the veins. So this diagram should be remembered thoroughly by you, that arteries branches to form arterioles, arterioles branches to form the capillaries. These are capillaries and they are shown by red and blue because they contains oxygenated and deoxygenated blood both. Capillaries unite to form the venules and venules forms the vein. So remember, artery and arterioles will be containing oxygenated blood. Capillaries will be containing oxygenated and deoxygenated blood both, and venules and veins will be containing deoxygenated blood. Okay. Now, as we proceed further, we will be writing differences between arteries or artery and vein. This is again an important question of your level. So, arteries, they mostly carry oxygenated blood. So, they mostly carry oxygenated blood. When we will study the human heart, at that time, we will see that there are exceptions to it. And veins, they mostly carry deoxygenated blood. So you already have understood by now that oxygenated blood is a one in which partial pressure of the oxygen is more. Deoxygenated blood is a one where the partial pressure of CO2 is more. They always carry blood away from heart. Okay, they always carry blood away from heart. And what are you going to write here? They always carry blood towards the heart. So I'm writing towards, rest everything will be same. You will be writing here carries blood towards the heart. Okay, towards the heart. As I'm speaking, you can write on your own. Next point. So, as they are carrying the blood away from the heart, BP or blood pressure is high in them. Blood pressure is high in them. And what are you going to write here? Blood pressure is low in them. Right? So, if you compare artery and vein, so veins will be having lower blood pressure in them. Next point. So, if the blood pressure is high, that means they need to have a thick musculature. So, arteries, they have thick muscles in them. You know, otherwise, what will happen? They might burst because they have high pressure in them. So, what are you going to write here? Veins, they have thin muscles in them. Why do they have thin muscles in them? The answer is here because the blood pressure is low in them. Okay, so all the points are important to be understood. In case of competency based questions, they might be there in the MCQ based questions. Now, as the pressure is high in them, so there are no valves. But pressure is quite low in veins. That is why they show valves in them. Right? In case a two marker question comes between artery and veins, you can pick up any 2 point, but make sure whatever you are talking here, you should write the same point here on the right side. So arteries, they carry oxygenated blood, veins, they carry deoxygenated. Arteries, they carry blood away from the heart, and veins, they carry the blood towards the heart. Blood pressure is high in the arteries, whereas it is low in the veins. In the arteries, because the blood pressure is high, that is why the muscles are required to be thick, otherwise they may burst. Whereas in the veins, they have thin musculature in them because the pressure is low in them. And there are no walls in the arteries because the blood pressure is high. So it will flow in continuity, whereas the walls are very much required in the veins. Why? Walls are required because the blood pressure is low. So there is a chance that the blood may flow back. So to prevent the backflow of the blood, these walls are there. Now, in case a diagram is given to you, suppose the longitudinal section of a blood vessel like this. So I am drawing a blood vessel and you need to recognize which type of a blood vessel is it. In case the student who is watching live right now can write in the chat, which blood vessel have I drawn right now? So this is This is going to be the vein. How I have resulted to this answer, how I have come to this conclusion, because these structures which are shown here, these are the walls, and walls are only there in the veins, right? Now, before we study the heart, which blood vessels are there, we should know to proceed further. One is pulmonary artery. I'm writing A for artery. Another is pulmonary vein. Third is aorta. Fourth one, inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. Before you study human heart, all these blood vessels should be learned thoroughly. This is exceptional. Why am I saying that it is exceptional? Because all the arteries carry oxygenated blood. This is carrying deoxygenated blood. This is also exceptional vein. Why? Because all the veins carry deoxygenated blood, but this is going to be carrying oxygenated blood. So before I explain you the human heart, you must know these five blood vessels names, and then we will study where are they being located. So the blood vessels are pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, aorta, inferior and superior vena cava. Now let's see their location. Where are they being located? Just wait. Just wait. I am just facing an issue to scroll down. Let me end this. So here I have to draw the diagram of human heart, and then I will explain you where are these located, the blood vessels that we were talking about. So this is human heart. Remember, I have already told you that this is left auricle, this is leading into left ventricle, this is your right auricle, and this is leading into right ventricle. Now we need to know the names of all the blood vessels. So first, we know that the blood is going to be deoxygenated here. So here it is going to be oxygenated, and here it is going to be oxygenated. Always remember that aorta is connected beneath the left ventricle, okay? So here with left ventricle always associate aorta, okay? Now here to the left auricle associate pulmonary vein. Remember, I just told few minutes back that pulmonary vein is an exceptional blood vessel because all the veins carry deoxygenated blood, and this is the one that is carrying oxygenated blood. Now next, right ventricle will be having deoxygenated blood, right? So here pulmonary artery will be there, and as I told that pulmonary artery is an exceptional artery that will be carrying the deoxygenated blood. Now, right auricle will be having deoxygenated blood. It will have two blood vessels, okay? This one is superior vena cava, in case you are not thorough with the spellings. Once this live will be done, you can replay the video because I have just wrote on my previous window. Inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. I means inferior, S means superior. Why have I written two blood vessels here? You know, all the parts which are located above the heart, they have deoxygenated blood. So these deoxygenated blood located on in all the parts that are located above heart, it will be poured into right auricle with the help of superior vena cava into the right auricle. And all the deoxygenated blood located below the level of heart, it will be collected by inferior vena cava and will be poured into right auricle. Right? So we have studied where are they being placed. So the names of five blood vessels are pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, aorta, inferior and superior vena cava. Now, you know, we have to study what? Double circulation now. Double circulation now. Now, double circulation refers to the flow of blood twice in the human heart in one cardiac cycle. So, in one cardiac cycle, right? One cardiac cycle is zero point 0.8 seconds long. So, in that one cardiac cycle, blood flows twice in the heart. Right? This is known as double circulation. So, double circulation of the human being has two parts. One is pulmonary circulation and another is systemic circulation. Pulmonary and systemic circulation. Remember, whenever the word pulmonary is there, it will always involve the lungs, right? Pulmonary and systemic circulation. Now, two more walls, and then I'll explain you the pulmonary and systemic circulation. See, I'm making the diagram of human heart again, and I need to tell you two more walls that a grade 10 child should definitely use. So please see here, and I have to tell you the walls here and here on this side. So here we have marked purple, and here I have marked green. So here it is going to be left auricle and left ventricle. Remember, there is a wall present between left auricle and left ventricle on the septum that is separating. Septum means the wall that is separating the left auricle with the left ventricle. So this valve is known as bicuspid valve. Bicuspid valve, and it is also known as mitral valve. Remember, this is important for your level. Bicuspid valve is also known as mitral valve. And here we have right auricle and here we have right ventricle. So between these, we also have a valve and this is known as tricuspid valve. It is tricuspid valve. Why are we saying tricuspid and bicuspid? In bicuspid, what do you mean by bi? Bi means two. So if there are two muscular flaps in the valve, it is bicuspid. If there are three muscular valves, then it is going to be tricuspid. Okay. After this, let's understand the first part of the double circulation, which is pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation. So pulmonary circulation, again make the diagram of the heart, and this time I will be labeling only left auricle and the right ventricle because only these chambers are included. Remember, this will be having oxygenated blood and this will be having deoxygenated blood. So let's start with the understanding part first and then I'll write for you. So right auricle, right ventricle has deoxygenated blood. Now this deoxygenated blood will be going to the lungs for oxygenation via pulmonary artery. So pulmonary artery will be carrying the blood from right ventricle and then it will reach the lungs. As the blood will get oxygenated, this blood will be drained into the left auricle with the help of pulmonary vein. With the help of pulmonary vein. Remember, pulmonary artery and pulmonary veins are the exceptional veins. Pulmonary artery will always be carrying deoxygenated blood and pulmonary vein will always be carrying oxygenated blood. So, we can define the pulmonary circulation as the flow of deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to lungs via pulmonary artery and from lungs to left auricle via pulmonary vein is known as pulmonary circulation. I hope I am clear. In case it is not clear, once the live will be done, you can replay the video. Now let's understand what is systemic circulation. Remember, as I reminded you earlier, systemic circulation. It is not systematic. So the remaining two chambers are left ventricle now and right auricle, for which we haven't talked about in the pulmonary circulation, right? So left ventricle will be having oxygenated oxygenated blood, and I'm hungry, that's why I've spoken food. So, and right auricle will be having deoxygenated blood. So we will be talking about these here. So oxygenated blood will go to the body with the help of aorta, which is the biggest artery. And as it goes into the body, the oxygen will be taken up for the process of tissue respiration. As a result, the blood will become deoxygenated. Now, this deoxygenated blood will be poured to the right auricle by two biggest or the largest veins. The ones which are located above the level of heart, they will be collecting the deoxygenated blood with the help of superior vena cava. And the one which are located below the level of heart, they will be pouring the blood in the right auricle with the help of inferior vena cava. So vena cava are the largest veins, as aorta is the largest artery, vena cava are the largest veins. There are two subparts of it, superior and inferior vena cava. So let's write for systemic circulation. The flow of blood from left ventricle to the body via aorta, the oxygen, the oxygen from the blood is used for tissue respiration and the blood becomes deoxygenated and poured into right auricle with the help of inferior and superior vena cava. So this is complete double circulation. Okay. Now, if a question comes, can a human live without the double circulation? Answer is a big no, because we are having high amount of energy requirement, and that is only possible if the chambers will be separated from each other well. So in case the blood is getting mixed, oxygenated and deoxygenated blood is getting mixed, we won't be getting enough oxygen. If we won't be getting enough oxygen, we won't be having enough ATP. If won't be having any sufficient amount of ATP, the organs in our body, they will not function. Right, as we are done with this double circulation, all the diagrams that I made, it was just for your understanding so that you can develop a concept how is human heart functioning. Now we will see the diagram that is given in the book. So this is the diagram that is given. Just wait. So I have to end this. Just wait. Sorry, it took a bit time. Maybe there was some lag in the internet. I just have to explain you the diagram of the human heart, how it has been shown in the NCRT. See this diagram. Now it will be easy. In case you have just joined the video, you can replay it later. See, this is always going to be the left side of the heart. This is always going to be the left side of the heart. This is always going to be the right side. So I've always taught you that left auricle or left atrium will be at the top. It will leading into left ventricle. So these are the two labels. Anytime they can ask you any label. They may not ask you to draw, but they may ask you to label. So right atrium or right auricle will be leading into right ventricle. So these are the four chambers. Remember that they were separated by septa. So this is septum or the dividing wall. Now see, we know that right atrium had to collect blood from vena cava. So see here, the vena cava is here, the vena cava is here. So vena cava from upper body. So this is superior vena cava. This is inferior vena cava, right? So vena cava from lower body is the one which is known as inferior vena cava. Now, we also know that left or atrium or left auricle had to collect blood from the lungs via pulmonary veins. So, pulmonary veins are also clear to you. The only difference is that aorta I have shown beneath the left ventricle just to develop a concept, but it is actually not located as such in the body. Similarly, pulmonary artery was shown beneath the right ventricle. It is not located as such. It was just to develop a concept like how blood flows. So how it is actually present? Remember, see the arrows. So blood comes from left atrium to left ventricle and then it moves up. So up में कहाँ जाएगा? Left ventricle always leads to aorta. तो ये कहाँ जाएगा? Aorta. So watch the video from the beginning only and then only this concept will be understood. So the flow of the blood is like this and aorta will be at the top. Similarly, what will be there on this side, right side? So right atrium will be pouring the blood into right ventricle and then the blood will be flowing up. So the flow of the blood is like this on the left side, this way on the right side. Remember, oxygenated blood has been shown to you with the red color and deoxygenated blood has been shown to you with the blue color. This is just to demarcate because arteries they look red, veins they look blue. Veins they look blue because they are superficially located in on the skin, means they are located quite upward. So that is why they appear as blue because they absorb all the color and reflect only the blue color. Arteries are deep seated in the body, गहरी हैं अंदर, बहुत अंदर लगी हुई हैं, right? So please see here there is a difference that pulmonary artery will be at the top, aorta will be at the top, rest all the blood vessels that I have taught you will be similar to what I have told. I hope this video has definitely helped you. This diagram will also be important. Now it will be easy. See, this is left atrium, left ventricle. See, the left ventricle is pouring the blood into aorta. This is going to be your aorta. This diagram is also very important. Prepare it thoroughly. This is left atrium, and from which blood vessel it receives the blood? Pulmonary vein. This is going to be right auricle, and this will be receiving the blood from vena cavas, right? Just wait a minute. So this diagram is done. This is right atrium, this is right ventricle, and right ventricle has to send blood to the lungs with the help of pulmonary artery. Before I end up this video, another important thing, that blood pressure is measured with the help of an instrument called sphygmomanometer. There are two types of blood pressure. One is systolic blood pressure and another is diastolic blood pressure. So systolic blood pressure is 120 mm of Hg and diastolic blood pressure is 80 mm of Hg. Remember, whenever these values are greater than the values being given here, a person always suffers from hypertension or high blood pressure. And whenever these values are lower, it is always going to be hypotension. So hyper means more, hypo means less. So if the blood pressure is given to you as 140 by 100, it is hypertension. If it is given as 80 by 60, it is going to be low blood pressure. Both deviations are not good for the human body, because high blood pressure may lead to hemorrhage and low blood pressure may be due to the glucose deficiency, or there could be other reasons as well. A person can go into the coma or critical health care. In case you feel difficulty in any of the question, you can leave a comment beneath this video. In case it has helped you, this video has helped you, please do share it with your friends and hit a like button. Stay connected. We'll be back with another video soon. Thank you.